Welcome back, everyone, as we continue our campaign as a career mode officer in the Confederate Army here on Grand Tactician: The Civil War. If you haven't seen the series up to this point, there's a link at the beginning that'll take in the description that'll take you all the way back to the beginning. It is November of 1862, and we are right back on the Sharpsburg battlefield again, but this time we get to deploy up here north of town. So I'm going to start by dragging my forces there. We've got 4,700 prestige and 983 money right now, but just limited things we can spend it on. I did just spend some prestige to do a recruitment drive that should help the Confederacy and hopefully will allow me to start recruiting some more brigades so I can build this army up to a good 40,000 or so. We can really start making a difference in this war. In the meantime, we're going to fight, and we're going to have pretty even numbers on the battlefield. Right now we have a slight advantage, but I believe the Union has more coming. He's got a big advantage in terms of morale right now, so that's going to be a problem for us. Our morale is not great, so we've got to dig in and find some good spots to protect these objectives wherever we can. I might just let him take the lower bridge objective. I'll hold the one that's worth more up here and make him try to cross the lower bridge. We know it as Burnside Bridge. So here's our defensive position. I'm trying to cover all the crossings on my right over here. And then we've got a pretty strong defensive line on the north behind breastworks. I'm expecting him to come down that way, but because he's coming in right here. So this is going to be probably the main road that he comes down, which should put him right in this area. You can see how we've got everything covered by artillery and small arms fire. First sight of the enemy, he's coming right down the road I expected him to. His morale has dropped significantly since the battle started, and mine has gone up. So now, instead of being down significantly, we actually have a better morale by about 8 points. And if he does choose to attack us, we are dug in, fortified. We've got artillery right at the center there, and everything is well covered. I'm pretty happy with where we are in all of this. Just got notification that George Meade arrived with a new division, so they have some reinforcements. They now outnumber us significantly. They've got 37,000 men on the field to our 26,000. We are in good shape for victories to start out, and if we can maybe inflict enough damage on these guys, the reinforcements won't matter. But we're starting right here, open field. Artillery's firing. Not entirely sure why these guys aren't up on the line, but let's get them up on the line. We've got cavalry here. Thankfully, they do have the range. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to send out some skirmishers from the 18th Kentucky. Get them to come up here and start firing into his flank. Okay, a couple more brigades or regiments are coming down on the center here, and then it looks like he's going to make a massive attack on my left. I've got a gap here in the line. I'm not sure why that is. Who can we get up there? 17th Maryland. Let's put them up there on that spot. Alright, nothing happening on my right so far. Alright, hopefully this helps drive down their morale, cause some casualties. About 2-to-1 casualties so far. Oh man, did he already take out my artillery here? Looks like he did. That's unfortunate. So in that case, let's go ahead and get up another infantry regiment on the line on that spot. Make sure there's nothing else happening anywhere on the battlefield I'm not seeing. We do have a few reinforcements that arrived in the form of the Army of Maryland. I don't know what this is back here. That's his headquarters. He's not moving with that yet. Just sending a couple regiments up. How we doing on casualties? 200 to 133. It's actually not quite as good as I'd like it to be, considering I'm behind fortifications. These guys aren't using them, though. Are they not behind them? Alright, let's move them up, these skirmishers up some more. Do the same thing to these other 2 regiments that we did to that one. And we'll do the same thing here. Once these guys come in, we'll swing this cavalry around. I have a few regiments in reserve just in case. Still not really anything happening on my right. Not sure why. My brigade commander's in front of his men. That's a lot of Union soldiers that are coming down on my position now. 2nd Kentucky doesn't have cover. I'm not sure how that happened. Isn't there a fence there? No, there's not. I've got a little gap in the line. And that's where he's hitting me. Alright, you know what? I'm going to send this entire regiment up. We need to get some extra fire on these guys. Okay, he's coming against my left now. Still not quite 2-to-1 casualties. This is a massive Union assault. Worst case scenario, if we run into trouble and it's apparent that everything's coming at my left, I can bring my right around as reserve. How we doing over here? Just getting started. Anybody in any real trouble? I don't think so. I want to pause for a second because I do want to take a look at exactly what's happening. Get some real-time information here. Combat report, first of all. We've inflicted 602 casualties. I'm surprised he's inflicted 450. Some of those must be for the other army. Well, let's see. Yeah, Army of the Peninsula, 602 victories we have. How many casualties? We've taken 362. Anybody in particular taking a lot? Jackson's division's taking most of it so far. They've lost 9 guns. So having my guns up on the line isn't paying off for me at the moment. Walker's brigade, that's the artillery brigade. They're the ones that are losing a lot of casualties. We lost most of those guns already. Infantry's doing okay, though. A lot happening in this one. This is one of the biggest assaults we've seen in this game so far. At least in this campaign. Alright, we drove another one back. Let's keep the pressure up. I'm going to send the skirmishers over there against the 3rd Connecticut, who we already drove off. And I'm going to bring the 14th Kentucky up even more. Just kind of roll up the flank of these different units that are attacking. Who was wounded? Commander of the 15th Virginia Battery. Yeah, artillery has suffered this battle, that's for sure. Alright, let's do this. Let's bring the cav around. Keep them right at the edge of the woods for now. We haven't seen his reinforcements yet. I don't know where those are going to pop up. I'm hoping they don't sneak around on my left or something. Because we're handling this assault pretty good. Let's go ahead and speed up time a little bit. Uh-oh. Alright, one of our units just fell back. 8th Kentucky Infantry. They only lost 138 men. So we'll bring up a reserve. We have more in reserve back there, so I'll bring a couple of the reserves up a little closer. Not really changing the outcome so far. Just kind of keeping an eye on the bird's eye view here a little bit. Okay, let's dismount this cav. Get them firing into the 2nd Wisconsin. That's historically one of the Iron Brigade regiments. My center's where I'm taking a lot of casualties. There's 2 units there? Maybe not. Not sure why those guys aren't up on the fence. I'm going to bring them over here to that gap in the line. Okay, the reinforcements from the other units are almost here. I don't know why the 1st Tennessee is still moving forward. Stop. Stop, stop. For the love of God, stop. I don't want a melee situation. And we're going to get one. Martin, at least you could have stayed on your horse if you were going to do that. Alright, where are we? Still driving them back. Send those skirmishers up to go deal with some of his batteries. Looks like we've just about thrown off the first attack, but I know he's got a lot more men out there. Now it looks like our Cav boys did okay. Alright, let's pull them back into the woods. Alright, we might be able to win this thing before we have to deal with too many of his men. Inflicted 1,900 casualties, we've taken 1,000. His morale's dropped quite a bit. A lot of these units will recover and they'll probably attack again. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning. Not sure why we don't have more help up here. Six Georgia infantry's taken significant casualties. Where are they? Oh, that's the one that just broke right there. Alright, 19th Maryland. Let's get you moved up to the line. We don't have a lot up in the center at the moment. Let's try to get some more up there. Who can we pull over? Alright, 14th Kentucky might be dealing with more than they want to right now. Let's pull these guys over as well. Still no sign of the enemy reinforcements. I have to assume he's back behind these guys. Maybe up around the Muma Farm, Dunker Church, somewhere around there. So the commander of the 14th Kentucky was just wounded. They're out there really exposed and they're going to probably get driven back, but there's no point in trying to pull them back at this point. I am moving reinforcements into the area to help out, but they won't get there in time to help them. They're just going to help stem the tide elsewhere on the line. I don't want to pull too many from this side just in case. 14th Kentucky's holding their own, though. There they go. Just as their support arrives, they broke. That's okay. I gave them a tough situation. Right, who's this back here? Oh, 2nd Kentucky Cav. They already broke once. Starting to run out of units that are fresh still. Oh boy. Just had another one route. He's loading up the center now. Okay. This is going to be a problem for us. So let's start pulling units over that way. He's going to start throwing guys into the gap now. Which actually might not be the worst thing, because maybe what we can do now is we can start sending help over that way and hit them as they come into the gap. How are we looking at numbers? Casualties are a little closer. Percentage is identical. Both sides have lost 7.1% because he has more men than I do. Okay. So what do we do here? We've got to try and collapse on his center as he's breaking through ours. This could be a situation kind of like the Battle of Cannae, where the Romans get drawn into the center when they break the center, and then they get surrounded. Not that I consider myself Hannibal. Oh yeah, there goes another one of my units in the center. It's okay. Charge the 15th Mass. So he's got Cav that's riding into the center now. We're going to try to hit them with units that are already kind of shattered, though. So here's all his units that have broken. We're going to try to hit some of them. See if we can't drive them off further. I'm going to try to turn this into a victory before the situation gets worse. Of course, the percentage of casualties is higher for us now than it is for him. Oh, a lot of these guys recovered. That's bad. 22nd North Carolina might be in trouble. Alright, we're starting to break the units that came into the center now, so that's good. Still nothing happening on my right. I think we're probably at the place now where we can go ahead and start pulling units from over there. He's not hitting me that way. Okay. Morale's about the same on both sides. It's only 9:30 in the morning, so it's not like we're going to get the relief of nighttime to be able to redeploy and fix all of this. I think we would have been okay if he hadn't gotten Meade's reinforcements. That's what really turned the tide in this one. Turned it from an easy victory into something a little more challenging. All right, boys, come on. Let's do this. I also have a bunch of artillery over here. Let's see if we can't bring those batteries up to help out. Alright, we're pushing things the right way. I think we might be turning the tide. Come on, boys. So Lane's brigade is coming over from the right now. They're going to reinforce this center. See if we can't turn the tide here. We've also got some other reinforcements coming this way. Got a few units out in front. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. Everybody's getting low on ammo. Everybody's taking casualties. We've still inflicted more than we've taken, which is good considering how we're outnumbered. Alright, we gotta get help back up here again. Or else the 26th North Carolina is going to be in trouble, which I think they are anyway. Alright, our artillery has moved up now too. We've got a whole bunch of guns that have started firing. Hopefully they're going to soften up this position here. If nothing else, hopefully drive the morale down a little bit. They are inflicting casualties. So getting these fresh units up is definitely helping. Now let's do the same over here. My goodness. What a bloodbath. It's still morning. There have been almost 10,000 casualties. Here comes this cav charging into my infantry on the left. And now he's got some more attacking over here. And another advance he's making on my left. My goodness, people are taking so many casualties. Man, he just threw several brigades at my center, fresh brigades. I'm just getting overwhelmed by the numbers. Even though I'm winning and I've inflicted 1,000 more casualties on him, there's just too many of them. But let's see, because maybe he was a little too aggressive there, because we just broke most of those guys who hit our center. And the final reinforcements from my right are making their way over toward the left now, where it's just a hodgepodge of units everywhere. I mean, there's just been so many that have broken. I've got so many stacked on top of each other. I can't even really see where each one is. I've got so many that have broken and reformed. We really need daybreak to be able to redeploy, but that's just not going to happen. Man, the casualties are going to be so severe from this battle. He's up to 6,000. All right, both sides' morale are in the toilet. He's lost 7,500 men. I've lost 5,900. It's about equal numbers on both sides. It's almost a quarter of each army. Some of my units are just going to be shattered after this, though. We'll probably be able to combine some. A bunch of units are leaving the battlefield, so I won't even have them on the field anymore, just because of how badly they've been broken. I've had it leaning toward victory the entire time, and we've still inflicted more casualties on him than he on me. I want to try and hold out until the end of the day if I can. See if I can't redeploy. I'm just not sure if I can handle it. The casualties we've taken. Even though I was still winning on the winning and losing bar, I finally made the decision to withdraw. It was just too costly. We inflicted 9,500 casualties, didn't take out a single one of his guns, though, and we lost 40 of our 52 guns in that battle, and 6,400 men. Brutal. 3,500 prestige, but at what cost? I want to actually inspect the battlefield, because I want to look specifically at some of our units and what they suffered in this battle, because it was bad. 40% of Davidson's division was lost in this battle. Drayton's brigade, that was artillery. They lost 62%, but here, Wilcox's brigade of infantry, 44% casualties, including 100% of one unit. I think that was just some skirmishers. 62% of another. Just a mess. So we're one day away from the organized recruitment drive being finished. We're going to see if that has any kind of an immediate effect, or if it's the kind of thing that we have to wait a little while for. And if it does have a decent effect, then maybe we can do it more than once. It's 750 prestige to do it. So let's see what it does. I've pulled my forces back a little more behind the line, though we're still at Warrenton. So if these troops come out from Washington, they could definitely still hit us, and that could be a major problem. But I needed to be near a base of supply so I could get my men fed and be into a camp here. More soldiers willing to re-enlist after their contract has ended. Your fame has increased. Number of recruits has increased throughout the nation. Did that have an immediate effect? Looks like recruits being used for reinforcements has gone up some, but the actual amount available for us to recruit into new brigades is, well, there's a little bit. Still, though, it's not a lot. It's certainly nothing that's going to allow me to recruit new brigades. Although we could recruit some infantry regiments with only 500 men. We can get a couple of them. That'll at least help some with the issue of manpower. But we really can't do more than that. Okay, the numbers are starting to come up a little bit. We've also started doing another recruitment drive, and the Confederacy just passed another conscription act. So all of that should help. We're going to be able to get some new brigades here from Georgia, full draftee brigades. And we'll go ahead and get them well equipped. And this is we should be able to push our numbers up. If I start getting 4 regiments in each brigade, I should get myself to the place where I can probably field 30,000 men by spring, maybe 35. So the reason they're not letting me get promoted is it's saying I can't have a higher rank than my commanding officer. I need a higher command before being promoted. I don't know who the commanding officer is. I must be part of an army group. I mean, I'm in a corps, but there aren't any army level commands available. And some of these other guys that are commanding the same level as me have 4-star rank. So I don't really see why there should be an issue here with this. A lot of these are division size, but the ones that are corps size, which would be the Army of the Shenandoah under Joe Johnston. He's full general. So I'm not entirely sure what that's about, but I can't really secure a higher rank until then. Do we even have the ability to build full armies is the question. Let's take a look at the policies for a second. So yeah, they have all of the required elements to be able to get the full army size. We're just not doing it yet. Looks like we're working on recruitment bounties too right now, so that's good. But I'm actually maxed out. I can't recruit any more units. I'm really, really stuck for the moment. And I don't have the 14,000 prestige to even apply for another command, but even these other commands are just more army size commands anyway. I don't know what else to do here. All right, I see the issue. Robert E. Lee's only a brigadier general, and he's my superior officer in this case. He's currently commanding Lee's brigade in a division. I don't know why he's the general-in-chief when he's only a brigade commander. It's like there's a little glitch here, but that's what's keeping me from getting promoted right now. So I don't know if there's a way we can deal with that somehow by looking for Lee's brigade and figuring out a way to get him out of that position so that doesn't happen anymore. Okay, so I remembered now that since they made the change a while back in the game, the way you get army level and then corps underneath is actually through organization reform, which is right here. And I can spend a lot of prestige to make the country do it. It's going to cost me 4.4k prestige, which is most of what I have. But that will allow for bigger units. So I'm hoping that'll help. It doesn't fix the problem of a brigade commander being the commander-in-chief as a brigadier general when we have higher ranking officers. So I'm hoping maybe that's just a glitch that'll get sorted out once that project is dealt with. Okay, and with that, we've got the promotion. I don't know how that fixed it, but it did. You have been promoted to Major General. You can now apply for commands of the following units, division, and corps. I'm actually part of an army group, the Army of the Valley. My health is bad. While recovering, your ability to command is impaired. Many dudes have been taken over by other officers in your unit. So it's saying sick across my portrait now. So that's what I get for getting promoted to Major General, is I get sick. In the meantime, can I add new units, or am I still maxed out as far as how many? I think I'm still maxed out. Now what I really need to be able to do is to create an army. We still don't have armies with independent corps under them. That's what I'm waiting to see happen so I can get a bigger unit. So there's the new bounty system for Confederate recruits. So hopefully that is going to add to the recruitment ability, but I can't get more units right now. And so until I get enough prestige to be able to recruit additional units, I'm still maxed out. Let's take a look though. Fielded manpower. It's probably going to be a delayed effect like it was before. So we're pretty well maxed out right now at near 30,000 men once everybody's in. We're just going to have to keep building the prestige and wait for an actual army to come available, or get enough prestige to be able to apply for one of these bigger forces like the Army of the Potomac with 53,000 men. And I need 13,000 prestige for that. But in the meantime, we're going to wrap it up right there. It is February of 63. We're going to come back next episode ready for the spring campaign season. Our first as a major general, the biggest army that we've had so far. Hopefully it will help us to build on things to come. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.